Hey everybody, today I want to talk about Workhorse stock, WKHS. And there really hasn't been a lot of news lately, but I will give you guys my last video down below or maybe up above in a card, maybe at the end screen, going over kind of their recent news. I'll touch on it really briefly, then we're going to get into a couple of things chart-wise, and some things to be aware of just overall for the company. Now, as many of you know, Workhorse is discontinuing their C-1000s. This was the vehicle designed and prototyped and all that with the previous Workhorse, whole set of different management, and you know, they just kept running into problems here with it. In hindsight, it would have been better if once the management took over, they would have just scrapped the C-1000s completely and didn't try to continue to run with that product, but their plan either way was just to go through inventory and eventually discontinue it anyways. Now, there's definitely a lot of other things covered here in this report by Workhorse, and it's our most recent update from them, so check out my other video. But just to kind of prepare you guys for earnings coming up and the conference call and all that, we do have some older news here about GreenPower. This is a collaboration with Workhorse, and the last we heard, GreenPower did complete their first delivery of EV Star cabs and chassis to Workhorse for their production of their W750s. Now, their earnings report for the end of 2022 is coming out soon. It's still quite a ways away, to be honest, but it's going to be a very important call. We're going to get updates with GreenPower. We're also going to get updates on their recent Stables and Stalls deal, and I kind of touched on that in my previous video. But I also wanted to cover another article here, and then we're going to look at the chart, and I'll also kind of just give you my thoughts on earnings coming up, give you my thoughts on the company, where they're at cash-wise, and that kinds of stuff. And according to Investerobserver, these are usually bot-written articles, but regardless of that, it does say that Workhorse is ranked higher by analysts than 18% of stocks, and the average price target for Workhorse is about $380, and analysts rate the stock as a buy. And $380 from current prices is roughly a double up, but I wouldn't really worry about what the analysts think anyways, because they've been wrong before and they will be wrong again. But I'd rather have some positive price targets than negative. Now, one thing I wanted to tell you guys with Workhorse is they did break their May 11 lows, unfortunately, but since bottoming out at the end of last year, they have been on an uptrend since, just like most small caps, to be fair. Now, I personally want to see Workhorse flip its May 11 low from a resistance to a support. I want to see a cross of the 50 and 200 MA. We neared it here in November, but it just didn't break out and it continued down. The run up that it had previously was very short lived and it just couldn't get those EMAs to flip. Now, I do think if we can see some sideways action in anticipating earnings coming up here, even continue to see a general uptrend, we will get towards that flip. But for now, keep an eye on how it maintains the 50 MA. So getting back to earnings, they are reporting their last quarter's earnings here in March, so still a ways away. And honestly, don't know where things are going to go in terms of revenue and EPS. I definitely expect them to be a negative quarter, obviously. In terms of profit, you know, they're not going to make a profit, but is revenue going to grow? That's going to be important to watch, and mainly their words on the actual earnings call, the Q&A, all those types of things are going to be crucial to listen to for Workhorse. It's not just going to be about the numbers. You're going to want to listen to the earnings call. And while there are a lot of stocks that haven't broke their May 11 lows, Workhorse is one of them. And this may just be overall worries about their cash burn and the fact that things just aren't going right. You know, they had to discontinue the C-1000s when it was thought that that vehicle would bring them some money at least. Now, one thing you'll see here is their balance sheet isn't all that horrible. They actually have a lot more cash than debt. And looking at their cash flow, their operating cash flow for 12 months, they do burn right around 90 million. But remember, this was the reported quarter ending in September. So we do have the next quarter to worry about, and the numbers will be likely a lot different. So this is kind of lagging behind, and they definitely have likely burned more cash and possibly racked on a little more debt. But just looking at it in terms of their cash burn for a year or a trailing 12 months, moving forwards, I would say that they have enough cash for 2023, but by the end of 2023, dilution could be a possibility to raise some capital. So like I said, you're definitely going to want to tune into Workhorse's earnings call, but let me know what you guys think about Workhorse. It is definitely unfortunate that this has broken its May 11 low and created new lows not that long ago. Wall Street definitely sees a lot of risk in this. However, it is nice that we have been seeing a good beginning of this year. I personally think for this to continue, we're going to need some business updates. Workhorse is going to have to get more vocal out there and let us know what's going on. We've still got quite a ways to go until earnings, and hopefully we get an update before then about just something at least. But I do believe in the management team, and if anyone's going to turn around Workhorse, it's going to be their current set of execs. Their CEO, Rick, does have experience in turning companies like Workhorse around. But let me know what you guys think about Workhorse. I do think this will be a very interesting year for them. This could definitely be a rough macro environment, being that they could require more cash. But for now, they do seem to be sitting all right on their balance sheet, although that cash is going to continue to burn. So it'll be very important in the coming quarters to see that revenue increase and see them start shipping vehicles out there. Thanks as always for watching, guys. If you like this video, consider hitting the like, subscribe, ring the notification bell. Definitely appreciate it. Have a good day.